Sơn Đồng Craft Village, blending traditional heritage with modern techniques. Located about 20 kilometers west of Hanoi city center, Sơn Đồng is a centuries-old village, famous across Vietnam for its traditional craft of carving statues and producing worship items, as well as gold and silver gilding and restoring cultural and religious works. Through many historical periods, the Sơn Đồng craft has continued to grow. Today, local artisans skillfully combine traditional techniques with modern technology to enhance the value and strengthen the reputation of Sơn Đồng Buddhist statues and worship products. The craft of making worship items and Buddhist statues in Sơn Đồng existed for a very long time. According to ancient records, in the 6th year of the Taiping era, 976, during the early Lê dynasty, a revered figure named Đức Thánh Đạo Trực, originally from Phú Thọ, traveled to Sơn Đồng. Inspired by the peaceful scenery and sacred land, he decided to stay, teaching local people the skills of statue carving, lacquer painting, gold gilding, and wood carving. He is not only honored as the father of the Sơn Đồng craft, but also remembered as the national hero who contributed to the Vietnam First resistance against the Song dynasty from 980 to 981. After his passing, villagers built a đền thượng to honor him as their ancestral patron. In 1986, the temple was recognized by the Ministry of Culture, Sports and Tourism as a national historical and cultural site, a symbol of 1,000 years of a thriving craft tradition. Despite many changes throughout history, Sơn Đồng has preserved and passed down its craft through generations. Skilled artisans continue to carve each detail, apply layers of paint, and carefully place gold sheets, pouring their heart and soul into every piece. Every statue, horizontal lacquer board, or parallel sentence is not just a handmade item, but a creation that reflects the maker's devotion, artistry, and the cultural spirit of Vietnam. In 2001, Sơn Đồng was officially recognized as an outstanding industrial and traditional craft village of Ha Tây province. In 2007, it was listed in the Vietnam Records Book as the largest village producing Buddhist statues and worship items in Vietnam. When you visit Sơn Đồng at any time of the year, you can immediately hear the rhythmic sound of chisels hitting wood as soon as you enter the village. It's a vivid sign of how active and prosperous the traditional craft village remains today. Sơn Đồng mainly produces wooden Buddhist statues, statues of saints and national heroes, sacred animals such as horses and cranes, as well as horizontal lacquer boards, parallel sentences, ceremonial panels, altars, and many other worship items. All are painted, lacquered, and gilded with gold or silver, giving them a sacred and spiritual character. For generations, the locals here has preserved their traditional craft, even during difficult times when the crafts were close to disappearing. Dedicated artisans continue to teach the children and pass down their skills of carving and gilding.
Xã chúng tôi thì bây giờ đang thờ Đức Thánh Đạo Trực cũng trên 1.000 năm rồi.
Our villagers worship Đức Thánh Đạo Trực for over 1,000 years. In 981, after returning from a war, he revived our village's traditional craft, which has been passed down through generations until now. Today, many local skilled artisans from Sơn Đồng has helped restore and preserve the craft in other regions. From its early days, with only a few groups of craftsmen working on temples and pagodas near Hanoi, Sơn Đồng has now grown to nearly 700 households and 10 specialized workshops, employing more than 4,000 skilled artisans. Many of these families have passed the craft down through several generations. I've been working in this traditional craft for more than 30 years. In a way, it was fate because when I grew up, I went away to school like everyone else. Over time, I found myself drawn more and more to our village's traditional craft. In the end, I returned home to follow my family's craft works. Sơn Đồng artisans contributed to major cultural and spiritual sites across the country, including One Pillar Pagoda, the Huê Văn Pavilion, Ngọc Sơn Temple, the Temple of Literature, and the Imperial Citadel of Thăng Long, along with millions of high-quality worship items found throughout Vietnam. The people of Sơn Đồng live by the saying, "Master one craft, a lifelong honor." This mindset is what makes their seemingly simple woodworking craft stand out among many other craft villages.
Huyện Sơn Đồng là có cái nét truyền thống đặc biệt riêng. Thứ nhất là Sơn Đồng là một cái làng nghề truyền thống từ lâu đời, được truyền từ đời này qua đời khác. Thế và các cụ từ xưa đã làm và nó có một cái nét đặc trưng riêng của
Sơn Đồng statues has a real distinctive traditional feature. Our craft has existed for many years and has been passed down through generations. The forefather developed a unique artistic identity for Vietnamese worship statues, carrying the traditional and folksy spirit of Vietnam. Because of that, a skilled artisan can recognize whether a statue was made by Sơn Đồng artisan just by eyeballing. To create a beautiful statue, we follow the principle nhất dáng nhì diện. The poster comes first, but the face must be especially beautiful. Once the overall form is set, the artisan creates details, patterns, and facial features to bring life to the statue. To complete, we go through several stages. First, we create a clay coat to form a beautiful base figure. Then we wait for it to dry. If cracks appear, we use traditional lacquer to fill and smooth them. After that comes the process of lacquering, layering, and priming until the surface becomes perfectly smooth. Only then do we apply gilding and some other finishing steps. Although other areas in Vietnam also produce worship items, Sơn Đồng has a unique style that has helped its reputation spread far and wide. Crafting statues and worship items requires strict compliance with religious symbolism. Giving a statue a soul and expressing the distinct presence of each deity is extremely challenging. Therefore, artisans must work with both skill and heart. One remarkable thing about Sơn Đồng artisans is that they can create any statue based on customer request without needing a ready-made sample. We're artisans of the Sơn Đồng Craft Village. Our primary work is carving wooden statues by hand. To create a statue, the artisan must well understand the character, imagining the deity face, postures, and the way their hands are positioned. Today, Sơn Đồng is one of the largest areas for producing worship items in Vietnam. The success comes not only from the village's long history, but also from its ability to adapt to modern times. Local artisans preserve traditional techniques while also applying new tools and technologies, creating products that are diverse, refined, and suited to today's taste without losing their cultural identity. Sơn Đồng now taking strong steps toward global integration. The village is completing its application to join the World Craft Council Creative City Network in 2025, a prestigious title that would elevate Sơn Đồng position on the international map of traditional crafts. The village also built a creative design center to showcase local art and OCOP products. Hundreds of traditional patterns, drawings, royal decrees, and antique items are displayed here, illustrating the development of the craft. This space preserves cultural memories and attracts tourists, artisans, and art students. In addition, Sơn Đồng has launched a multilingual website and set up a 90 square meter training center for young learners. More than 20 students are currently being trained in lacquer art, wood carving, and calligraphy, the next generation who will carry the craft forward.
Đối với cái việc để Sơn Đồng trở thành cái thành viên của mạng lưới sáng tạo thủ công thế giới, thì Đảng ủy, Hội đồng Nhân dân, Ủy ban Nhân dân xác định đây là một nhiệm vụ chính trị rất quan trọng, có nghĩa to lớn đối với xã Sơn Đồng. Nó không chỉ đem lại cái giá trị liên quan đến văn hóa để thể hiện quảng bá hình ảnh con người Sơn Đồng.
Turning Sơn Đồng into a member of the World Crafts Council's Creative Cities Network is an important political task for our local community, as it holds great significance for our commune, not only in preserving cultural values and promoting the image of the local people to the nation, but also in introducing us to the international friends. This opportunity will also help local businesses and artisans expand their markets, not only within Asia but also to Europe and other regions, thereby enhancing product quality and strengthening the reputation of our communities. From an ancient craft village with a 1,000-year heritage, Sơn Đồng is now transforming for the age of global integration. The craft not only provides livelihoods but also preserves cultural identity in a modernizing world. By blending tradition with creativity and new technology, Sơn Đồng artisans continue the story of Vietnamese craftsmanship, bringing the spirit of traditional worship art to the world.